Well, good day, here we go with another live stream from TF Custom Shaving Brushes workshop. I took out the blanks that I cast yesterday in the live stream, the hybrid blanks, and yeah, they've turned out pretty good actually for the considering it was the first time I'd ever used the epoxy resin. So I'm reasonably pleased with them. I'll show you the blanks first up. I've got one already chopped up in the lathe here, and I've got another two sitting to the side there, so I'll show you them. And I've done the razor blade one with a little bit more blood and a clear acrylic base on it, so that can be cast the next time I'm doing some casting. But I wanted to show you some of the timber that those hybrid blanks were taken from. So this is a piece of the, I mean, it looks pretty bloody ordinary, doesn't it? Let me see if I can get it in a closer shot, say on camera 3. So there it is. It's just a dirty looking scrappy old chunk of bloody wood, but then when you look at it inside and you see the grind of the barrel, it's absolutely stunning. So I'll get a few more from this piece. So yeah, hopefully we should be able to do a few more hybrids out of that. Plus I've got a couple of other barrels there that I can use as well. So I can quickly show you another one of them. This is a fairly big one, this one. Probably need to go back to camera 1 for this one. So yeah, there's another one. So it's yeah, it's a fairly big one, this one. You can see it's quite thick as well, so I'll have to probably try and slice it and do something with it. It's pretty ordinary on the inside, but once we cut into that, you'll see some nice gnarly grain in that, I reckon. So that's another one. I've got a few other ones kicking around too, but I won't waste too much time with that. So basically that was the barrel. The first one was the barrel that I used for these 3 hybrid blanks, and I've got the other 2 here. So I'll show you a little bit of close-up, and I'll show you some of the issues that I've had with just these ones. But now that I know that it's minimal issues, I should be able to fix it for any further hybrid blanks that I'm doing. I mean, I have done hybrid blanks in the past, but using different materials, so this is the first time with the epoxy. So I might have to flip to another camera to show you these ones. So we'll go back to 3, and I'll just show you them under there. So you can see there was quite a large air bubble in the side here, and there's a little bit of an air cavity went up in there where obviously there was a little bit of a hollow in the timber, and for whatever reason there's been air trapped in here that didn't quite manage to work its way out. And I'm quite surprised actually, because normally when it's under vacuum it'll push all the air out. So it's obviously been well trapped in there and not been able to get out. There's a couple of other ones just round here, but they're fairly minor ones and they're pretty much in the surface. Nothing goes into the blank too deep, so you can see in there, just let me find that. So there's the large bubble there, but when we look inside, it's all around the edge of the blank, so we'll be cutting most of that out anyway. So it's not going to affect the blank. I'm pretty impressed with the colour changing pigments done this way, so I think I'll be doing more of them. But anyway, that's that one. So really the blank itself is cast lovely, no dramas at all. It's just those little bubbles, so obviously I've got to work on making sure I get them out. Now that might be a case of increasing the pressure. I mean, I might have to get a bigger pot that can take more pressure. I think my pot's only capable of taking about 55-60, and anything over that it would be getting dangerous. So so that was that one. So that's the other big blank, but like I said, it's big enough that we'll be able to take all that out and still get a nice handle out of it, hopefully. So that's that one. Excuse me, I just had some dinner and I think I got something stuck in my throat, I think. Now this one is the narrower blank, and again you can see the same thing. There's a little bit of a track here with some air that's got in there. There's a little bit of a bubble there. So I don't know whether that air's been, because obviously the blank's cast up that way, so I don't know whether that air's been trapped down the bottom here, maybe in the tape on the bottom, and then eventually it's worked its way up, but not been able to get all the way up before the resin started to cure. But again, this one's probably in a little bit further on the handle, so what I'll have to try and do with this one is I'll have to try and make sure that when I do this handle, most of that will get dug out. And that way there'll be no imperfection in the blank then. But again, like I said, it's all trial and error, and we'll see how we go once we've got it turning on the lathe, whether it's going to work or it's not, but it should do, I think. And again, the colour pigmentation in that one, I'm a lot happier with that. So, but I'm hoping that we'll see it a lot better once the blanks are actually turned, and the colour changing should pick up the light a lot better, and I think it will reflect the colour changing a lot better. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to crack on with these very shortly. I'll just show you the razor blade one. So when I cast those other blanks, when I cast those other blanks last night, I also had a little bit left over, so I poured some into a plastic cup to form a base, and then what I've done is I've just bonded the razor blade to that, and I've dropped a lot of red in there just to bed the shaving brush in and give it a little bit of a look once it gets turned. A little bit more work and a little bit more messy than what I thought it was going to be, but anyway, I'm going to see how this one turns out. I'll get a few ideas from doing this one, so hopefully I'll be able to do another one and maybe do it a little bit different and a little bit better. But anyway, this isn't too bad. Hopefully it should still turn out okay. And as you can see, I've got the crisscross of the razor blades, so it's actually two razor blades there. There's a Gillette Ruby and the other one's a Wilkinson Sword made in England. So again, next time I'm casting, I'll cast this one up, and we'll possibly be able to do a live video on turning this one as well and seeing how it looks. Obviously those blades are second-hand blades, the ones that I've actually used, so some of the writing's coming off on them. If I was going to do more of these, I'd probably do them with new blades so that the writing can be seen on them. But anyway, just to let you see what I'm up to, so there's a few different things that I'm playing around with. Yeah, and it's just seeing what's going to work and what's not and all that. So I'll put that one aside now. Actually, I might put it right out the way so I don't accidentally pick it up or bump it and cut my fingers off or something. So we'll get started on this one, which again is a bigger blank. So I'm thinking possibly a sort of a chubby type style for this one, a nice big fat handle, and I've got a 28mm, one of my 28mm 2-band finest to go in it. So I'll be drilling a 28mm hole with a Forstner bit once we get the blank flattened off on the end here as usual. Excuse me. And then I'll have to put the tool in there to take it out a little bit more till I get a nice fit for the knot. Unfortunately it goes from 28 up to I think 32 in the Forstner bits, so you know, you never get the right sizes to be honest, but anyway, that's the way it is. So without further ado, I've got the tool rest set up. I've got this chucked up in the chuck. Hopefully it's strong enough in there at this point in time. I've only got about 3 or 4mm grip on the end, and it's a bigger blank, so the jaws are not gripping it fully around the jaw, because it's slightly, you know, it's bigger than what these jaws really should be clamping. There should only be a couple of mil gap there, but I think it should hold hopefully, and I'm only going to try and take gentle curves, gentle cuts. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Okay, we might get started then, eh? Alright, I'm hoping that the resin's cured enough as well, so hopefully there's no mishaps with that. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to give it a crack out. I think that tool rest's going to be still too high. Once I start to cut into the fresh resin, I should get a better idea if it's ready to. I might be trying to do this too early, but I can't help myself. I want to see how these hybrids look. The shavings feel dry enough, so hopefully it's all good. And we're getting a mix of timber there and a little bit of resin. I'll leave it on this shot for now until I get this ready, and then I'll take it to the tailstock camera. I might have a look at that. Yeah, there's a little bit to go yet, just take it a little bit more. But it's looking not too bad. And this will cut very, very differently to the polyester as well, being epoxy. So we'll have a look at that. Yeah, we're looking pretty flat there. We've got a bit of resin surrounding the timber too, and there's still a little bit on top, but because we've done it under pressure, we may have forced some resin into the timber barrel too, so I'm quite happy with that idea. So that's okay, and like I said, we're going to probably be taking a lot off of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to knock that live center out, and I'll put the 28mm bit in there, and I'll advance this up. We just touch the blank, we'll turn it down slow, let's turn it up. And we'll start that cut. So we'll go to camera 3 here, and you'll get to see this cut. Loosen that off, going nice and slowly. We'll start the cut. Bearing in mind we're into barrel here, so the barrel is pretty hard. I'm going to bring that back out, set my cutter to 0 on the gauge here, and then we'll bring the bit in. as we normally do, just till we start the flat, end of the blank. That should do us, and then we'll just go in and just take small cuts and keep relieving. Hit that with a little bit of air. About 11-12 mil now. Give it a clean out. That's 15, 16, 17. I'm going to go in about 18 on this one. And that'll do us for now. I'll take that that out. If we need to go back in again, we can, if we need to make any adjustments. That's okay. So what I need to do now is I do actually need to remove the tail stalk. So we'll go back there. I'll stop the lathe for a tick. And I'll have to reposition this camera for a second, so I might go to camera 2 to move this one out the way for now. Take the stock off. And then I'll check the skew for height, a little bit higher and a little bit further out. And I've started with a fresh sharpened skew and a parting tool. I sharpened them just a little while ago, just to make sure we were as sharp as they need to be to do this. So we've got, if anything, it's probably just slightly under 28, but it's pretty close to 28. So I want to just slowly take this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out about a mil, which will be 2 mil overall. So what I take off this side comes off the other side as well. So that's cutting nice. I'll just take the measurement there. So that's about 29. I probably just want a little touch more. So take and all I'm doing is just letting the skew work its way in with a little bit of pressure, trying to stay on the cut. until I hit the bottom and I can't feel it moving in anymore. And when I hit the bottom, I just drag them over so I've got no high spot in the bottom, in the corner. And I think we're there now. Just check. Yep, we've got a nice flat base in there. So hopefully I'll let you see it with the other camera when I get it back on there. I'm just going to take that sharp edge off. Okay. And then I'll try the knotting before we go too much further. So there's the knot. Again, one of my 2-band finest. Nice and dense. It's 28mm. It's a fairly big knot. If anything, it's a little bit looser than what I would like it to be. I would like that to be a bit tighter. I might go with a bigger. Knot actually, because I think I need it tighter than that. So just bear with me for a tick till I go and get another knot. I'll be right back. Cheers. Okay, I'm back. So what we're going to do now is I've just gone just a little tad too, just very slightly too big on that hole size for that 2-band finest. So what I'm going to do now is I've got a few of Serjan's hand-tied knots here now. So I'll show you them and I'll try them for size in here. The depth will be fine because that's the depth we need for either of those knots. But I'm just going to see which size fits best now. I've got a what size is this one? That's about a 28, so that'll probably be too loose. Actually, it's not too bad, but I think the next one up might be the better one. So this one's a 29mm hand-tied rhodium from Surgeon, and that's a lovely fit. So I think we'll be going with that one. And the next one up is a 30mm, but I think that's going to be, actually it goes in nicely too. That's probably a better fit, to be honest. So I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, that's lovely. So I'm just going to check a couple of things here, so bear with me. In here, and I want to go to Surgeon. Some time ago, Surgeon gave me some information on what sizes he uses to set his different size knots. So if I can find that, I mean, I know roughly where I'd set it. I'd set it roughly where it is now, but I just want to check to see what he said about the loft. He knows his knots better than anybody. So much backwards and forwards messaging in here with Surgeon regarding all the handles we've been doing and knots and different size knots. Sorry to be doing this on here, guys, but I think it's better for me just to check and see if his sizes are where I'm thinking it needs to be too. So I just can't remember how far back it was now. Wish there was some way of filtering this. Much easier when you go back through previous messages. And there we go, found it. 50, 25, 26, 50, 52, 27, 30, from 52 to 54 loft. Check that there now. Oh, we're spot on the money, right in between. So that's I'm happy with that, and that's the knot we're going to go with. 30mm untied rhodium from Surgeon. Rhodium knots. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. Actually, I should go to camera 2. Just let you see that close up, close and personal. Absolutely beautiful. So that's what we're going with. And there it is in the handle. So it'll be a nice big 30mm chubby handle, this one, I think, if I can get the shape right now. So let me bring that back in. And we'll bring the tail slot back in now. Get rid of that. Back to there. Right, let's get started and let's get stuck into this now. So, chubby style, or similar, my version of chubby I suppose. We'll have to take material off the side of the blank because there is the barrel wasn't 100% tight in the mould, in the PVC mould. So there is resin that's gotten down the sides as well. I should bring that other camera up now too while I'm here, and that will save us having any hassles down the track now, because I think that's the last. We shouldn't have to move it again, I don't think. So just have a quick look. The tool rest around a bit more. And all I'm doing here is just putting a rough shape on the end and tidying it up so that I can then bring in the tailstock, so I've got a bit of security, stability in the chuck. And then we'll work the shape properly, and if we have to come back to the top we can. So you can see around here, let me just change that to camera 3 now. And bring the tailstock in a little bit more, drop it down a bit if you can. And I'm thinking you should be able to, doesn't seem to want to sit as good as it normally does tonight for some reason. Oh, that's better. So you can see just around the edge here, there's a layer of clear. Not so much here, and then we've got a bit more around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that fairly round. Actually, I might, because I'm going to have some exposed. I'm just wondering whether I'll run the tool across that now, and we'll see how that goes. Because if I could leave the resin on there, the clear, or at least a layer of it without taking it off, it might help protect. Obviously, we're going to get rid of these marks. But it might help protect the timber and save the timber getting exposed to water too, because I can seal up the inside here, that's no dramas. So let's play around, right? There, I've got to lift it up a tad, shape it now, and I can put the live set back in, wind out a touch, bring that in, and this will probably bottom out on the rim that I've made for the knot to sit in. Oh, it might not, it's only, yeah, it'll still bottom out at the bottom, that's good. Because I didn't go too deep on this one, so that's good. And we've just got a bit of a vibration in this at the moment, so just play around with that camera until I get it right for you. That's probably around where I want to be turning. So I'm just going to come in here very gently. See where we're at, getting this round. It's actually fairly round, to be honest. I'm not noticing a lot out round on it. But I think we are going to be moving the resin a certain part around the barrel, so we might have to go the same all the way, otherwise we'll end up with a different look in the timber. That's alright. Just a little bit more material to take away. Sorry Razor, I never noticed you dropping in there, mate. Yeah, it should. I'm looking forward to seeing this myself, actually, mate. I'm hoping it all goes well. There's a couple of little flaws in the casting, which nothing too drastic. Yeah, nothing too drastic, but it's really a case of playing around until I get this right now. You can see the barrel starting to shine through there now, but we've got a couple of high spots and low spots on the resins come down between the barrel and the mould, so I'm going to have to take a lot of that away and get it back to the timber and then seal the timber up again later. So I'm thinking with this one I'm just going to make this a bit of a chubby style, I think, because this is a lot wider blank than what I normally use. So I'm just going to play around with it and see how it turns out anyway, and I'll just have to try and work out my proportions as to, I don't want to make it too big, but I don't want to have it too small either, so I might actually come in just under the barrel. That's probably going to be too far. I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got a Yagi one that's very, very similar to a chubby, which I got a long time ago. I might go and grab that and I can have a look at the proportions on that one just till I see how it looks, and then I can take it from there then. So just bear with me, mate. I'll just go and get this Yagi brush so I can get an idea of the shape. I've done it again. When I changed it earlier, I must have forgot to turn the mic back on. Bloody hell. So it's going to be a music video, and all that stuff I've been telling you about these blanks, you've bloody missed it all. So I've made that same rookie mistake again now. Let me just turn that one down because it's peaking a little bit there. How's that sounding now? There, that's a bit better. Bloody hell. I've done it again. Nobody said there was no sound other than the music. Yeah, look, it's I got the Yagi just to give me an idea that it's totally different shape. I don't personally like the shape of the Yagi one, and it's got a 30mm tuxedo in it, and I personally think the whole handle looks like it's out of proportion. The knot looks too big for the handle. I mean, some people like that, they want to see all the brush, but I like to get everything in proportion when I sit my knots in a handle, and when I make the handle, I like the handle to be all in proportion. So yeah, I just pay a little bit more time to that sort of detail stuff. I'll bring the Yagi over on a tick, and I'll sit it side by side on this, and you'll see the shape is totally different. Why didn't you tell me, Resin? You've been on longer than anybody else, and you never said to me that you couldn't hear me. You must have seen my lips move. I can't hear the music. I can only see it working on the preview screen from my audio video mixer. So it's showing, but it wasn't switched on. Alright, I think that's going to do that one. We'll do a little bit more in there. The music's for you guys' entertainment, not for mine. Yeah, it's starting to take shape. Just got a little bit more rubbing and sanding to do yet though, but we're getting down in the finer grits now, so. But as I mentioned, it may be a two-part thing because there's still a fair bit to do to this one with regards to parting it off, finishing the bottom. I've still got to put my super glue finish on the timber once the timber's dry, but if it's not dry tonight I'll have to leave it, and we'll do the second part of the stream on Thursday night because I have my SES State Emergency Services training on tomorrow night, so it'll have to be Thursday when I come back to this, but you know, if we don't get that far tonight, at least that'll give the burl the timber plenty of time to dry out. Not that it takes a lot of time for it to dry because we've not got a lot of timber there. But I want to make sure it's properly dried before I start applying the external finish around the timber. And I'll explain it again because you've obviously missed it. If I don't make sure the timber's properly dry before I apply the CA finish, then what will happen is we'll get a lot of white will form beneath the CA finish between the timber and the CA, and the handle will just look terrible. So it's got to be perfectly dry for that CA finish to work. But when the CA finish is on that timber, it will pop like it's popping now with the water on it, and it's a very hard, robust finish. I used to put it on all my writing pens that I used to make. That was my preferred finish because it's the most toughest finish that you can get for a handmade pen, especially in timber. I've made timber pens and they've been out there, people using them day in, day out, carry it in their pocket with them all the time when they're at work, and those pens are still as good as the day they were made. Whereas if you put oils and waxes and stuff like that on them, they all tend to break down very, very quickly, and then what happens is the timber will start to get really grubby. So the CA prevents all that. It keeps the timber light new, and it's that hard wearing that, you know, years and years and years it'll still be as good as the day it was. And if it does dull down a little bit with use, you can always bring it back to a buffer and stick it on the buffer and just buff it up again, because it's acrylic. So yeah. Okay, we'll have another quick look before I go to the next strip. Oh. Geez, I must be getting old, making old man noises every time I've got to bend down. That you'll always have, if you come into the stream, you should always have me talking in the stream as well, unless I'm busy doing something at the time and I go quiet because I'm concentrating really hard, really hard. But you should have volume all the time, mate. I've obviously just missed when I went away there before. I turned my volume off so that you could only hear the music, and I've obviously forgotten to turn it on when I've came back. So another rookie mistake, but I might have to have a moderator in the channel so somebody can pick all that stuff up and tell me when I need to make sure it's on, and I might have to have a moderator for my channel, especially if I grow it. I suppose I will. Hey mate, it's up to you to supply the whiskey. You should have brought a chair along and a bottle of whiskey and sat and enjoyed the show and shared a bit with the boys. I can't touch the stuff, I don't like the stuff. I can't drink anyway. I'm not allowed to. My medication. It's still hard to drink though. I was telling the guys the other night in the stream, because of my medication, I'm not supposed to drink alcohol at all. But I tend to, on a Friday night, I'll have a couple of Bundies, or maybe a couple of Bundies and a cider or something like that, or a cider first and then a couple of Bundies. That's on a Friday night. I normally treat myself, and then Saturday night I might have another couple, Sunday night I might have another couple, and then I have my big tablet night on a Monday night, so then I've got to miss Monday night, and then I don't have one again, I don't have a drink again until Friday. So my weekend, Friday night, weekend drinker now only, because of my meds. Which is a little bit unfortunate because I used to like a drink, but not Scotch. I've never liked Scotch, I've never been able to drink Scotch. My old man used to drink it, and I think when I was younger the smell of it just made me puke. So okay. Are you guys seeing that burl? It looks absolutely out of this world. You'll never get out of the rabbit hole, mate. I'm sorry to tell you, you're stuck. But I have noticed you've been trying to back off a bit. Been for a while now too, you've been trying to back off a bit, haven't you? You're still here though. Guys, if I don't get this done tonight, I will bring the tailstock camera over so that you can get a head down shot, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to see this chameleon colour changing pigments on the underside of this barrel. It is unbelievable. And I'm not just saying that, trust me, it is stunning. Alright, that's another one done. We've got 3 to go, and these go fairly quickly because these ones are much finer. Better give a light hand up to the side. I mean, the timber's smooth enough now. I've just got to make sure that we get the acrylic right, and that there's no bad lines or scratches or anything like that in it. One, second last one. So we're 3 minutes off 3 hours, mate, guys. So it's definitely going to be a 2-part. Ah, damn it. There's a bit of timber came out of the resin here, the little tiny little bit there. Ah. So, I'm going to stop there. I'll explain why. So first up, I'll go to that view there. Just let me dry this off a little bit. I'm going to call it a night there now, but I'll show you this anyway. Just bear with me a tick. And I'll explain the reason why I'm calling it a night, because otherwise this stream is going to go on for too long tonight. So I'll explain to you what's happened, show you what's happened. And this is the joys of doing hybrids, believe it or not. Okay. Let me bring in the, let me bring this in. Yeah, crap's not the word I would like to use, but anyway, we're on a live stream on the public arena. So, look, what's happened is I've cut short on this. There's still a few fine scratches in here that I'm seeing too, so I'm going to have to go over all that again. But what's actually happened is when I was in here sanding inside where the knot's going to sit, I noticed a little bit of timber on the well, it actually got caught in the pad and then it fell to the base here. But what's happened is there was a tiny, just right in that spot there, you can see it. Just let me grab a pencil. So this, where this little bead is, this rolled bead, there was a tiny little piece of burl in here, and it's separated away from the main part of the burl because we can see we've got clear all the way through there, and this little piece of burl here was out on its own. Well, it's decided it wanted to part ways, so it's come out and it's left a chip in there now. So I've got two different options I can go with. I can either recut this ring smaller and then reshape in here and reshape here so that I can still save the handle, or the only other way to do it is to clean this out and then build it up, but that's a harder job than you would think. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up recutting this bead and then going back to change the shape of this slightly, which means I'll need to change in here slightly again. So it's going to take a lot more work now, so I'm not going to continue tonight with it. You can see the burl started to dry out already. It's not as shiny as it was before, but the minute I put my CA finish on that, that'll come back to looking like wet. Now, the only part, I don't think you can properly see it, but inside, let me just bring the pencil in. So in here, this area here, is the side of the burl, and the side of that is coated in the chameleon pigment all the way right round here and down in here. This is where the knot's going to be sitting, so you're going to see a little bit of the knot, probably about less than a third of the knot you're going to see there. So once that's set in there, you'll see the knot, which is fine. Then we've got a little bit of the chameleon pigment running down over the side here again, and we've got more on the underside of the burl. Now I'm just going to try and see if I can catch a little bit of light, and you'll see the colour change. It's very difficult to pick it up actually, and if I bring the camera too far over, I'll block the light out. Oh, you can see a little bit there now. You can see a little bit of blue, sort of purpley blue just in this area here now, and up the back you're seeing orange, but there's also other colours in there. And when I turn it to there, I'm actually seeing green and blue in here. The camera's probably not picking it up. I wish I could get the camera closer. You may see it, but there we go. There we go. So you can see the yeah, there you go. You can see the pigment changing colour there now. And from memory, that one's got about 3 or 4 different colours in it. You'll see more once it's parted off. You'll see a lot more colour shift in there, but you're seeing it. You're seeing a little bit of it there now. And then obviously you've got that burl. There's where the little piece came out, but that's not too big a drama. We'll take that out. But what I'm kind of afraid of is that when I take this piece out, we may also lose this piece, and that piece is a little bit deeper, so that would change everything totally if we lose that piece. So I'll have to play with that and see what we can do there to overcome this little issue here, because it's too good a handle to lose it, but it does need more sanding. There's a few scratch marks in there that I'm not happy with, so I'm going to go back over that again. But there you can see the chameleon pigment changing there. You're getting flashes of colours, gold and violet and purple, and there's orange in there. So it should look nice when it's finished and parted off. But I think that'll do me for tonight with that one. So I'll leave it chucked up. So you can still see it slightly there. You can see the purple and blue with the orange up the back. You can't see nothing there except the burl. But anyway, that's fine. We'll work with what we've got. We'll just have to have a little bit of a design change. And if I come in on that other camera 2, I don't think you'll see too much from that one. No, it's too far away for that one to catch anything. So 3 is definitely the camera to capture it. But anyway, look guys, thanks for dropping in again. Sorry about the disappointment of not being able to get it finished, but these things happen unfortunately with these types of things. And then you've just got to, like I said, look at it as being a bit of a design opportunity to change the shape, which is unfortunate because I was actually quite happy with that shape. And if I take that back and bring the camera back over, and this is the rhodium knot that's going in it, a big 30mm knot. That's a real shame, because that is looking really nice. I've just got that handle shape just nice to match that big 30mm knot as far as height, proportion and the width and everything. So I'm happy with that, but I'm just going to have to redesign here slightly. So we'll have to look at that one on Thursday night, guys. So that being said, let me have a quick look at the chat. Yeah, shit happens, mate, for sure. Just having a catch up in the stream, guys. Yeah, you're pretty much all saying good night. So yeah, so here I am again. Thank you for dropping in and saying good day, having a chat in there. A little bit disappointing, but these things are sent to try us. So like I said, we'll rethink, redesign slightly. We'll still be able to save the handle, hopefully. Even if this part here comes out, I'll just reshape the handle to a different shape. We'll still make it work, no problems at all. In fact, that may be another opportunity to just try a different shape now. I might take that top ring completely out and hollow. Let me just go to that other shot while I've still got you here, so you can have a think about it. And like I said, I'll make my mind up over the next couple of days. But if I go to camera 3 again, so what I'm thinking here, guys, is there's the extent of the handle, basically from here. That's the bottom of the handle, and there's the top of the handle. You can't really see the detailing that I've put in here, but it's quite nice actually. But what I'm thinking is if it's going to get me in deeper trouble trying to take that out and make the bead smaller and maybe lose this part here as well, what I might be better doing is actually just taking this bead out, leave the bottom as it is, and hollow this in here more, and just have that kind of shape. So basically this curve here would continue in and then come out and roll back in, which would still make a really nice handle, I think. Yeah, that might be a better option. But we'll look at that Thursday night, guys. Okay, so let me go back to camera 1. So once again, guys, thanks for dropping in. At least you're getting to see the hybrids. These are the other 2 that I've got, which will be coming in, and they've got the colour pigments on the underside as well, just different colours. So we'll be doing those ones in turn as well at some stage. But like I said, thanks for coming in, guys. TF Custom Shaving Brush is closing the garage door again, so they say. And hopefully we'll see you all on Thursday night for the live stream. I'll try and see if I can schedule it in earlier so that you get the warning, or get notified, I should say, that the stream will be going up. So providing there's no dramas or anything else crops up, I'll see you on Thursday. Thanks guys, cheers.